Hello there, Steve, the passionate piscator, reporting for duty. Just dropped all my stuff back at the fishing lakes there, ready to fish. Just have a little walk through these woods. I'm a bit of a nature boy at heart. I'm just going to see what sort of wildlife and nature there is around and have a quick sneaky peek at a little private lake I know about at the other side of these woods here. Let's have a look. Now this fishing lake is private. I call it Water Meadow Pond. It's quite a long, thin pond. Very still. Normally it's very windy. The wind normally blows straight over this and creates waves across it. But I'm not fishing this today, mostly because I know there aren't very many fish in there. And the fish which are there do prefer a much warmer day than it is today. But it does look absolutely beautiful, peaceful and serene. Look at it reflecting the clouds back up at you like a mirror. Fantastic. Good to see. Well, here we are again, back to the lakeside with that leftover maggots that I had from the last session. I've plonked myself in a little corner of the lake. There's not much breeze on the water, but it's just coming through very lightly. Every now and then a good gust gets up and it ripples the surface of the water slightly, but it's pushing into this corner. Now, it's a cold wind, so it's kind of not what you're supposed to do, fish into the warm wind, but this little bay is as still as anything, flat as a pancake, and I think that's where the fish are likely to be. Well, put it this way, I've seen lots of fish moving in this corner, so it's a very good sign. Lots of rudd on the surface, a few roach moving around, and a few carp moving around on the far bank there, which I'm hoping to draw a bit closer to me. I'm going to float fish today, as I was quiver tipping last time. I left my prawns at home because, what's the saying, go off like a bag of prawns in the sun. I mean, that's meant for when your rod goes off, but those prawns went off. They were not fit for consumption for me nor the fish. Let's get her out there then. First cast of the day. Not I need to cast very far. I haven't actually remembered to bring my catapult with me, so I don't need to cast too far really. Always manage to forget something when I'm fishing. Let's give him a little taster. Maggot. Not too much, it's a little bit too chilly for that. I actually looked at my phone again just now and the temperature's dropped to about 2 degrees. So that's going to make it a bit trickier for the fish. Got to look for little tiny drops of float. But we should get something. It may not be instant, but we should get something. Fishing out in the middle of the water. Normally I go for the edges. I'm going to try the middle because I've seen a lot of rudd moving around in the centre of the water. hopefully a few rudd might make its way into my net. Beautiful scene again today, lovely and clear. It's probably why it's so cold, the warm air isn't getting trapped in a layer of cloud. A big flock of redwings going over the top of us. Really is amazing being out in nature, the peace and the quiet, wonderful stuff. Oh, slight little dip of the float then. I wonder if I should have struck it, but then the float isn't sailing off anywhere else, so probably not. I was probably right not to. Got plenty of actually we've got plenty of maggots left over from the other day. I only bought a pint and I think I've still got well, it looks like a pint still in there. Sometimes they're a bit generous, aren't they? They give you an extra handful. I think I may have only used that the other day when I was fishing with the prawns. Oh, that looks like a bite to me. Here we go. Oh dear, I think this could be a carp. 4 pound line, main line is fine, but fishing with a 2 pound hook length. Oh, I think it is a carp. This is the wind sailing through the line. It's very sluggish, so the water is absolutely freezing, and so the fish aren't really giving a very good account for themselves. I'm actually fishing with an old float rod which I've had for years and years. It's a Total Fishing Gear rod, 10 foot. It's only a medium float rod. I don't know why I don't fish with it anymore. I think I've just bought different rods through the years and I've got on better with it. I do tend to prefer a longer rod. I do tend to fish a lot of rivers nowadays. So the shorter rod has sort of been packed away a bit, but it's absolutely perfect for a cold day fishing like today. Ooh. Hold your horses. Oh, she's very sluggish, but she's got some weight. You'll see now, it'll only be like 2 pounds. Sometimes these little carp fight stronger than the big ones, don't they? Let's have a look at you. Oh, I think I see a tail. Kite flying over in the distance there. Pay attention to fishing, Steve. Stop looking at the birds. Pay attention. You don't want to lose her. If I could just get her head up. Oh, it's a lovely common. Oh, a lovely fish. Oh, hey. Come on there. Get the net into place at least. Fishing a bit low to the ground here, but oh, the net's spooked her a little bit. Crash. Well, it's definitely a carp. Oh, a bit hairy on the old size 18 hook I put on. But this is the most joyful part of fishing for me. It isn't really about getting the fish in, although it is part of it, of course. And it's a bit annoying when you don't. But this is fantastic. Really light gear. Feeling every bit of movement, playing the fish. It's angling after all. It's not landing. And the angle of the rod does all the work for you. You feel it all through the line and the rod, right way through to your arm. It's like having... Oh. Guess she's off. Suddenly warmed up a little bit. The muscles must be warming up a tad. I don't know what size she is. I mean, I might give her away at the end of it, just to, out of interest, if I can get her in. Come on now, my darling. Just get your head up. It's just on 2 red maggots. So sometimes the bigger fish come to the smaller baits. Just got to be patient for them. coming up bloody sideways now. The line got caught round her fin. Problem here, as she's warming up, she's from moving about trying to get away, she's actually getting stronger. Get your head up, Diane. Take a breath of air. That might calm you down a bit. Oh, I remember one of my friends saying to me, if I'd have had that on my rod, I'd have had it in by now. Fishing massively heavy gear. Why would you want to make this absolutely joyous event any quicker? Honestly, this is what brings such satisfaction to me. It's proper feeling the power of the fish and the movement. Oh, she's doing another run. There's no snags out here in this little bay, but she's not going to get tangled up in anything. She's absolutely safe. So why drag her in? Make sure she's nice and tired before she gets in, and that way she isn't going to be bouncing around on the bank and hurting herself. You've got plenty of time to rest them, to put them back in the water. They go back healthy as anything. I'm probably doing her a favour here, because as I say, this water is absolutely freezing. This little bit of exercise is probably warming her up a little bit. Though she'll be hungry at the end of it. Another load of red wings flying over there. Maybe even the same ones. No, come on. Don't want to go too heavy on the drag, because I don't really want to damage that that 2 3/4 pound line. Whew. Gives your arm a bit of a tug. I'll tell you that for nothing. And now she's spotted a little clump of reeds over there, and they're not going that way, I'm sorry. Don't like to be a party pooper. Her head's up there. Stand a better chance of getting her in. Come on, dearest. There we go, straight in the net. Nice and tired. I've had a lot of fun. She's warmed up a little bit. Oh, I can't be bigger than I thought. 2 maggots. Hold the net here so she doesn't jump away. 2 red maggots. Okay. It's all right, darling. Still got a lot of kick and fight in her. It's surprising, really. She probably is warming up. There you go. Look at that. First fish of the day. 2 red maggots. Easy, isn't it? I don't know people have a trouble with. Right, let's unhook you and get you back. Right, I thought we'd take a closer look at her, as she's such a stunning fish. Beautiful common carp. Actually gave her a quick weigh. She's 9 pounds on the nose. Look at that. Absolutely scale perfect, fin perfect, lovely great big tail. Still holding her over the mat. I'll bring her closer so you can have a closer look. Big rubbery lips. Absolutely stunning. Wonderful fish. Right, give her a quick kiss. Mwah, and we'll pop her back. Okay, let her sit in the water for a little bit. She's put up a good fight. So let's have a bit of a rest before we let her go. Make sure she's okay. When she gives a little bit of a signal she's ready to go. We'll let her go. Look at those lovely scales, absolutely brilliant. Let's let her nose out. There we go. Stunning, look at that. Nothing more satisfying than seeing them go back absolutely beautifully. Oh, well, that was a little bit of excitement, wasn't it? I wasn't expecting that for my first fish of the day. I was thinking more rudd, bream, roach, that sort of kettle of fish. But there's nothing for it. You've got to get back to fishing. And of course, one of the most important things to do when you've caught a decent fish like that on quite light gear, just check your rig. Make sure it's absolutely fine. Make sure there's no knots or tangles, or make sure the hook's still. Make sure the hook is still sharp. Make sure you haven't got any tangles, which I have around the rod tip. There we go. And then get into the next one. Fantastic. Let's keep going. There were two cows in a field. One cow turned to the other and said, "Are you worried about this mad cow disease?" The other cow turned to him and said, "No, why should I be? I'm a squirrel." Well, he's in at least. Fumble more. Little teeny roach. Little greedy devil. Lovely job. Cracking little rud. Doing a little jiggle. Calm down. Look. Just chill. Relax. Life isn't so bad. You're going to get put back in the water in a minute. Don't panic. There we go. People just want to see you. Look at that. Whew. So lively. Well, I just had a funny little 15-20 minutes of rod fishing. I was just sat here watching the water. I could see all these fish coming up and taking the maggots on the surface, so I took off a dropper shot I had on and just been essentially pole fishing with my float rod, and I've been catching lots of little rudd. Just for the fun of it, I've been popping them in the landing net, which is in the water, not throwing them in my keep net like I would normally do. And let's pop them in there quickly. Yeah, I've got a hefty weight of them in here. Let me show you a little bit closer. Oh, let's get them a net. Here we go. Let's have a look at them. Let me fold my wellies a little bit, and I'll place them on there so they're not flapping around on the ground. And there we go. Lovely little bag of rudd, just busying around on the surface they were. And I took off the dropper, as I say, and managed to pick a load of them off. Lovely fish. Only small, some of them, but a little tiddler velvet. You'll notice here there's what I'm going to say, because of the mouth, is a bream rudd hybrid. Perhaps a roach, but it's certainly a hybrid. Lovely. I do love rudd fishing. What beautiful fish. Look at their fantastic, if I can get into focus, fantastic red fins. Lovely upturned mouth. Eye perfect for taking things off the surface. Always looking up usually. And look at that. Lovely scales. A bit of damage on the top there. Maybe a little heron or a kingfisher's had to get him at some point in his life. There's even a slightly goldeny coloured one there. Look. Really red fins. Very dark back on him. Slightly golden tinge. You just about catch it in this dull light. A lot better on a sunny day. And much redder eyes. Look at him. Beautiful. Right, I'm going to pop these straight back into the water rather than into the keep net. And off we go. Again, it's a bitterly cold day, so there's absolutely no reason. That one's not looking too clever. Oh no, there we go. Absolutely no reason why you shouldn't let even the smallest rudd just settle in the water, get their strength back, get the water flowing back into their gills to check they're all okay before releasing them. So it's a very cold day, and we'll just allow them to swim out, not back into the net. Come on guys, just allow them to swim out into the lake at their own leisure. There's a few still managing to swim back in. Listen guys, I loved catching you, now just go. It's not too difficult. There we go. See you later buddy. There's still one refusing to leave the net. Come on, look at him, get out. Off you go, devil. Cheeky little beggars. Okay, looks a bit like a bream. very skinny one maybe, but I think this is a hybrid. I think it's got a little sniff of roach about it, especially the way its mouth looks more roachy than it does being a bream. But lovely fish all the same. Another little roach bream hybrid and the double maggots. Lovely job. Well, they don't all have to be the world's biggest fish, as this little beauty proves the smallest little perch of the day. Cute little wasp. Have a little spiky fin. Still, you never know. One day this little tiny miniature might grow up to be something really special. So let's pop her back in. And gone. Right, that's me done for the day. Rods are in. Rods. I've only got one rod, haven't I? Twatted. Cool, that's got chilly. Put my old warm jacket on. That's me done for the day. Decided to bring the rod in. It's getting a bit cold, but light's starting to fade once more. Haven't used all those maggots I meant to today, which is a bit of a shame, but the fish have been feeding really slowly and really delicately because it is cold. I think I've been lucky to get some bites. I was super lucky to see that shoal of rudd come across the surface, so I could pick them off really quick before the shoal disappeared. And also excellently lucky with that £9 common on the first cast. Who could have guessed that? Maggots all day long. Haven't put any ground bait in because I think it probably wouldn't have worked. I located the area where the fish were moving, I knew they were there, and it came up top trumps for me. Lots of bream, lots of roach, a few little perch, but I've been kept busy all day and I cannot be upset about that. Anyway, I'm going to head home and get some food in this big fat belly of mine because I am absolutely starving and I could do with a cup of tea, if only to warm my hands up. So, thank you very much for joining me, the passionate piscator, on this another adventure, and I will see you next time. Thank you.